I'm supposed to be in skating. I'm supposed to have a job in skating. I'm supposed to continue with skating. I'm not supposed to be doing what I'm doing now, trying to find a new life. I hate being so negative. I can't help it though. Like it's actually naturally spewing from me that I cannot stand a lot of things in life right now. Until the day I just let it go is probably when I'll probably be able to move forward. You know, how can what I've done in skating and who I am in skateboarding, I mean, you can imagine how hard it is just to say bye. You know what I mean?
I would say that there's not a lot of honesty in skateboarding. You know, in their mind, maybe it's bad for business. And maybe for Rick, it was bad for business to like say what he felt, but you know, he's got like tons of respect from skateboarders. So it's a trade-off, I guess. I don't know what he would rather have at this point.
What's up? Welcome back to Epically Latered. This episode is about Ricky Oyola. He was kind of an episode I've been wanting to do since we first started. I asked him early on and didn't really hear back, so it was kind of cool to finally get a hold of him, get an interview going. For those of you who don't know, he really came up because of Eastern Exposure 3, I would say. I first heard of him maybe because of the Sub-Zero video. You know, just like raw, pushing down the street. Definitely like a fresh take on skating at the time. And I would say his Eastern Exposure 3 part, at least for the time, was probably the best actual street skating part ever. There are awesome parts. You'll see like Guy Mariano or Costin or something, and those are awesome parts too, but they were skating like schoolyards, skating, you know, spots. And Ricky's was just ollie up the curb, hit the cellar door, ollie down the curb, hit the pole jam. A big shift in skating, and you could see that he kind of kicked off a trend because after a while there was a lot of people that skated like him. He's very opinionated. He's really got something to say. This episode could kick off a lot of inner skateboard debates, and this is it, Ricky Oyola episode.
Grab your bag, Owen. Owen.
Get makeup!
I told him about, I don't know how far this goes, but I was joking around on the camera, and they were like, Dad, they can hear you. And I'm like, I know they can. I see all these people sell stickers and make so much money off of it. I just really can't see myself letting go. I don't know why. I just don't know why. I don't do it with it. It's sitting in a bag in my basement.
See? A lot of stickers are in this book.
All right.
My daddy's famous
He is. That's why we're here. Why do you think he's famous?
because his name is all around skateboards.
Have you ever seen any videos with your dad?
I saw one, and one was when my daddy had an afro.
That's the devastation.
Yeah.
Have you ever saw him with the afro?
I just gave him that video. He has it.
Yes.
Did you bring it back? I know he's trying to scoop up on Dad's
Yeah.
archives. I lived in Pemberton, New Jersey when I was like up till 6, maybe 6 or 8. And then my parents moved to Medford, and so I moved away. I mean, it's basically in the woods and stuff like that. It's pretty sick. My brothers all worked for bike shops, and in New Jersey, a lot of places in New Jersey, skateboarding was introduced through bike shops. It's kind of how it started for a lot of, I think, people in my age group. When I got into high school, you know, I started skating with the Medford Lakes kids. You know, they could ollie hard, they had style. It was, you know, they were rad, you know what I mean? They used to talk about taking Saturday bus trips to Philly. You know, we would catch the bus like 6:30 in the morning to get to Philly by 8:30. And this is kind of like how my first times of going to Philly were. It was just get dropped off and skate for hours and then get on a bus at 5:30 and come home. This building right here is, I'm almost positive, I mean, I feel where I met Roger, maybe not true, but there's these shitty little banks to curbs that you could skate. We used to call them Montague. Well, Roger Browne was always someone from Philly. I mean, I always give him a lot of credit. There was a couple of dudes, a lot of them from Jersey, but to me it always came down to Raj.
Hello, boys and girls. I am originally from New York City, the Bronx. I started skateboarding way back when. Actually, when I was a little kid, I skated with Andy Kessler. I met Ricky when I was 24. I don't know what year that was. He was in Jersey, so he could skate tranny pretty well. He could skate street. He had pretty good style. Skate a little vert if he wanted to. Yeah, he was just, you know, intense. We just skate and have fun, man, you know.
I used to drive into the city where Roger lived. You know, he'd get off the late night shift at the post office, fall asleep, I'd get out of school, he'd wake up, I'm at his front door, boom, and we go skating every day. This was like this performing in the city, this was like every day.
And Spike's Skate started, which was like this big skate shop in the city. That was it. It was like we'd go to Spike's and, you know, we'd skate around the city. Love Park was just another spot. When Spike's closed, we're like, all right, where do we meet? Let's meet at Love. And we didn't really know the potential of Love Park until EMB started jumping off. Wait a minute, this place has everything we need. There's ledges here, there's like steps. The city gave us leeway to skate. Yeah, we were just like, this place is great. We need to blow it up. We gotta put Philly on the map.
There was nothing in Philly at all for forever, really. I mean, we kind of blew it up. No one knew about it. Every time you'd read anything about it in the articles, it was Nanis's car broke down or someone's car broke down and they took the train in Philly. But going from DC to New York.
For a big city, never getting any coverage in any magazines until 91 or whatever, just kind of overshadowed, has an inferiority complex, you know? We were both at crossroads in our careers. It's like, should we move to California? Should we not? I think Ricky went there once and got sponsored by Z.
I skated this skate park in East LA. It's called Lip Slides. I mean, I know that all the LA skaters used to skate it. And George Wilson was a team manager for Z. And, you know, I got sponsored for skating mini ramp back in the day. That one is just my Z ad that I just was like over it, you know what I mean? Just fucking tired of falling. Yeah, I used to get picked on. I used to love Z, man. This video was kind of a video that Z did that was trying to change the guard of what people know as Z.
Yeah.
You know, and the fucking those crazy trucks, and this is full on street. Z Products was like my first video part. Well, I had a section of mini rap, and it was all edited, like to be clip, 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 clip. That sucks because I could do all those tricks in one line. And in my mind, it was just so much better. It might be longer and drawn out, but so much better to see the ability that you did this all in one line, you know? That was my first sponsor, and honestly, I was psyched. And I rode those trucks for a year. Through there, you know, I've wanted to ride other trucks. I mean, I was at Woodward, and, you know, I was there for a counselor for like 2 weeks or whatever, and Chernowski, Mike Carroll, Danny Way came out. Rad skaters, you know what I mean, that were on a different level, you know, and I'm this kid trying to get up there, you know, and Mike Carroll would literally give me like a set of ventures, like every day, just be like, you can't be riding in those fucking trucks. Danny Way, give me indies, and you know, it's amazing, these dudes are like, I was a good skater, they were psyched on how I was skating, they just couldn't bear, I mean, to watch me skate in these trucks. I called to say, hey man, I got these dudes giving me trucks. Could I just not ride the trucks? Like, I'm psyched on Z, man. I'm here. I'm filming a video for you. Like, can I just ride other trucks, man? They didn't want me to do it, and they were bummed. They thought I'd quit that day. You know, I'm like, I'm not quitting. Just really want to ride these other trucks. And a little after that, I just started riding these trucks. Just, fuck it, you know, fuck it. And finally, they were going to send me to Japan with a couple other dudes, and I told them that I've been riding indies for a while, and, you know, he was kind of bummed, called me back later that day, and kicked me off, and I was like, damn. I went through instances with those trucks that, you know, after the first day or two, they lock up. They're like regular trucks. There's no difference, but they give. That's the whole premise of it. So when you get on something and it's like gonna stick, it rolls slowly. And if you're lean right, you just go over it. You know, they give you this graphite powder you're supposed to put in there. You can go crazy with them. It's pretty funny.